once I remember there was a gap for about 4.5 months during the World Cup, where I was in Qatar for about 4.5 months. And the second time that the gap is for 4 months again. The last session that we had was on the 8th of March, and we resumed last week, last Saturday, when my son Sheikh Farik handled Ask Sheikh Farik on the 8th of July. So there was exactly a gap of 4 months. It was planned originally to be a gap of 2 months when I had gone for a lecture to Oman and to Qatar. But unfortunately, I would like to mention a mishap that took place. That, as you are aware, that in Malaysia I only had 2 staff and 2 security, total 4. 2 staff and 2 security. Amongst my 2 staff, one of my staff, his name was Abdul Hadi. He was a cameraman. And unfortunately, in the last week of April, just after Eid, unfortunately, my staff, Abdul Hadi, was a very good cameraman. He had a stroke. He was in his early 40s and he expired. It's unfortunate. He was a very good staff. He was a very good Muslim. And it is a great loss to the organization as well as to Peace TV that he had some heart issues, but we never expected that at a young age, in the early 40s, he would suddenly expire. He was walking on the street and suddenly expired. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him a highest, one of the high places in Jannah al-Firdaus. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may He forgive all his sins and may He keep him in the company of the Prophet in Jannah al-Firdaus. And he is survived by 2 of his wives, Bombay. More than 500 staff, out of which more than 300 were involved in the media, in the production, in the shooting, etc. And now I have only 1 technical staff, Hazmal, and 2 security. Of course, there are other staff in other branches of mine in different cities of the world, alhamdulillah. But imagine 7 years back, in Bombay alone I had more than 500 staff and additional 150 staff in different parts of the world. Now, from 650 staff, from 500 staff in Bombay, now we are left with only 3 staff. That is less than 1% of the staff. And yet, alhamdulillah, our activity is continuing. And my dawah, alhamdulillah, has grown much more than what it was before. Of course, we have our research team, some in Yemen, the PhD, Dr. Fadl Fashush, who stayed with me for a few years in Malaysia, and now he has gone back home. And yet he's with us online. So because of the technology, now most of our work is done online, and we have staff in different parts of the world, and I keep on interacting with my staff on the Zoom. So because of this, we had a gap of 4 months in the session. And before, I remember when we started this online session in 2020, during the pandemic. Before that, I never had online sessions because of my busy schedule. We started with Ramadan having 2 sessions a week. Then we realized that my other activities are suffering. Then we had once a week. And then when my son joined me about 2 years back, now he handles twice a month. I handle twice a month. So I handle every first and third Saturday on the program called Ask Dr. Zakir. And my son Farik handles the question and answer session on the second and fourth Saturday in the program Ask Sheikh Farik.